a lengthy hearing in New Orleans today, as it is a full contradictory hearing in which both sides can call witnesses and contradicting evidence is presented to a judge. Durst's attorney, Dick DeGuerin, is contesting the basis of the arrest, saying it was not based on fact but rather a TV show. What this means to Durst facing a charge of murder here in Los Angeles is still unclear.
U.S. stock market index is mixed in early trading following a strong performance last week. I'm John Trout. Fire safety in New York's Jewish communities is getting a closer look after a weekend blaze claimed the lives of 7 children of the Sassoon family.
Officials say the fire was caused by a malfunctioning hot plate left on overnight to heat food for the Sabbath. Like other observant ultra-Orthodox Jewish families, the Sassoons aren't allowed to use an open flame. Firefighters only found one working smoke detector in the basement of the home, and they say they don't believe it went off. I'm Scott Carr.
The bodies of the 7 brothers and sisters have arrived in Israel for burial. The children's father escorting. Gail Sassoon and the couple's 14-year-old daughter survived the fire but are in critical condition. A driverless cars trek across the country is underway. The cars journey started yesterday near the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and will finish in New York City. The trip is expected to cover around 3,500 miles over the next 10 days. Delphi Automotive is the company behind the journey and said it's the longest automated drive ever attempted in North America. I'm John Trout.
What's your passion? Maybe you want to help people.
Or maybe you have a special passion for making our planet a better place.
Bring your special passion to our airwaves.
It's time your voice is heard. To learn just how affordable it is to join our family of broadcasters, log on to 1150kknw.com and click on the Be a Star tab.
A whole new world awaits you.
And let's go ahead and take a look now at your Alternative Talk weather outlook for Monday. Well, we'll see some, looks like partly sunny skies to start things off. It will start to cloud up with some partial rainy skies later on this afternoon. High temperatures, a little bit on the cool side, topping off at about 52. For this evening, those showers and clouds will hang around, and low temperatures dropping down to about 44. For Tuesday, much of the same, scattered showers, mostly cloudy skies, and highs around 53. Continues on through until Wednesday and hump day, increasing rain by the evening. High temps for Wednesday around 56. And we'll turn things around for Thursday. It's going to warm up and partly sunny skies. High temperatures, around 67.
Views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. This is Alternative Talk 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KLCK FM 98.9 Digital HD3 Seattle.
Welcome to Real Estate Radio ViaVija, where we talk about what's buzzing in the Puget Sound real estate market and across the nation. We're here every Monday, weekly at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'm your host, Vija Williams, and I'm a real estate agent in the Seattle area.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ben Williams, co-host and local Seattle area realtor as well.
Hey, we have a great show for you today. We will, of course, hear from our own Cody Touche in the Lender Minute. Plus, we'll discuss why you need professional photography while listing your home.
Absolutely. And then later, we'll talk tax assessments. You know those little cards you get in the mail that let you know what your property is valued at by the government? Well, if you don't agree with that amount, yet you are still taxed for it, that could cost you a hefty chunk of change in property taxes. A little later in the program, we'll welcome in Eric Johnson from Rainier Title. He's going to help us with steps to take to dispute that assessment. And it is tax season. It is that time of the year. I was talking to some friends, and all they were doing this weekend was sitting on the couch watching basketball and doing their taxes.
Really?
It's tax season. Have you done your taxes yet?
You know what my answer is to that.
What's your answer?
Have we?
I am waiting. I do our taxes in the family, and I am waiting for our.
We now have announced that to everybody in Radio Land.
I am waiting for our tax accountant to ask me the single most important question, and every year he refuses to ask me the question.
Okay, I'll take the bait. What's the question?
And Ben, do you want to pay taxes this year or not?
And
the answer is he's never asked that. He's never asked me that question.
Okay.
I'm just dying for the answer so I can say, no, I don't want to pay taxes this year.
Okay.
every year we have to pay taxes.
It's like, don't you think in our lifetime we should have one amnesty year where they just say 1 year where they go, but that's kind of you probably do it too young. You probably wouldn't realize like how much you're going to make later in life.
Right.
So you probably screw it up.
How about 2 then?
Well, what?
Come on, we learned from the first one.
I mean, how about every year?
Why not? Hey, party on the government.
Right.
We don't need roads. There's no roads. We don't need any of that stuff.
We need them.
Benny, your taxes done?
Oh, yeah, they've been done.
Good for you.
You're one of those.
Good for you.
I actually am. Yeah, I am one of those.
I'm kind of the guy that's, I'll get to it, but I try to get to it early, but it ends up always being April the 12th or something.
Yeah, I was like that, but then I started doing a little bit of investing on the side, so I was just honestly waiting for that stuff to come through, and it was late coming this year, but it was all done up until then, and I was waiting for those last documents.
I like it when Benny says, quote, investing on the side. It sounds very mysterious. He's like the millionaire next door.
You got
He's producing our show while like there's billions.
Yeah, I think there's some offshore accounts in his future.
No, I have twins, okay? So I have to think really far ahead now.
It's sketchy. There's something going on.
Oh, really?
well, definitely.
Under the table there.
I love it.
This is the tax episode of Real Estate Radio ViaVija. We're going to be taking a short break right now, and when we come back, we're going to welcome in our guest to find out how to dispute your tax assessment. And up next, if you are about to sell your home and think taking your own photos to save costs will help you in the long run, think again.
And remember, if you want to throw us a question about property taxes or anything, get on Facebook.com/Radio ViaVija or Twitter at ViaVija. That's VIAVIJA. See you in a minute.
Attention homeowners, there are not enough homes for sale for the buyer demand we are experiencing in the Puget Sound. If you are interested in selling your home or even just thinking about it, please call Vija Williams at Keller Williams Real Estate today. When there's not enough homes for sale, this creates a seller's market. There are thousands of potential home buyers relocating here and living here locally who want to take advantage of these historically low interest rates before they rise. Please call us today to schedule a complimentary pricing analysis of your home. Vija will tell you what your home is worth and will consult you on home prep to get your home market ready. Call Vija to find out more. Vija Williams of Keller Williams Real Estate, 425-998-8452, 425-998-VIJA. That's 425-998-VIJA, 425-998-8452. Get an automatic home evaluation at SeattleHomeValue.com. That's SeattleHomeValue.com. www.seattlehomevalue.com.
Alternative Talk 1150. We're on your radio at 1150 AM. We're on your HD radio at 98.9 Channel 3.
So many ways to listen.
We're on the web at 1150kknw.com. Streaming live audio and video as well as MP3 archives of many of our shows.
So many ways to listen.
And now, we're on your smartphone or tablet. Download our free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play and take Alternative Talk 1150 anywhere you go.
So many ways to listen.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than four walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself so you can save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Tired of the insanity of other talk radio stations? Just click your radio knob and say there's no place like Alternative Talk 1150.
This one's called Taxman.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio ViaVija, here with the Taxman and Ben Williams, your weekly show with the buzz on what's happening in the real estate industry for the week. I'm your host, Vija Williams, and I'm a real estate agent in Seattle.
And I'm Ben Williams here. We hope you're enjoying your Monday morning. Thanks for tuning in today, wherever you may be, in your car, in traffic, or at work. Remember, you can join us every Monday from 9 to 9:30 here and online at blogtalkradio.com/ViaVija. That's ViaVija.
Yeah, and at this time, we want to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors of the radio program.
Yes, you've heard us talk about WAMP before on air. That's the Washington Association of Mortgage Professionals. Well, they are hosting their annual dinner meeting this Wednesday at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Bellevue. Their keynote speaker is Rich Lefflers. He is the author of Mortgage 101 Boot Camp and Insider Basics for the First-Time Homebuyer.
Loan originators all over the country spend hundreds of dollars to attend Rich Leffler's seminars. And thanks to WAMP and their gold sponsor, USA Direct Funding, you can become inspired by his high-volume lending techniques for the price of a plated dinner. For more information or to reserve your seat, please visit mywamp, that's WAMP.org.
Yeah, you better do it in a hurry because that's coming up on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
So get to it right now, folks. Well, thanks a lot, Vija. So I got a question for you. When you list a home, do you use professional photography for all your listings?
You know the answer to that. No matter what the price point or where the home is or what kind of home it is, it's always professionally photographed.
Now, what about someone who's perhaps listing for sale by owner and to try to save a few bucks, they take photos themselves for listing? Would you recommend that?
No.
Absolutely not. And we have a little fun. You know, we see a lot of pictures on the Internet listings, and there are some really goofy photos. I mean, I'm sure you've come across that.
Oh, many times.
What were they thinking kind of photos?
Sure.
For example, I mean, I was searching for a client once and came across a listing showing a kitchen with the owner or someone in the frame bending over, putting dishes in the dishwasher. I mean, come on. That totally makes me not want to show that house. And I've seen photos so dark you can't see anything.
At least it's getting used.
So why bother? Well,
you know the best photos are when you can see that they've stuck the camera outside of their car window.
Oh, yeah.
And they're taking it as they're driving by.
Well, anyway, I say this because we have compiled a group of 25 or 30 of what's possibly the worst photos you can imagine that people or agents actually posted on a listing to try to find a buyer. Now, we've put them on our Facebook website at facebook.com or Facebook/Radio ViaVija for you to check out. And some of these are just absolutely hilarious. And I know this is radio, so we're not going to describe too many of the pictures, but I'm telling you, there's a shot in here showing a living room, and off the very side corner of it, you can see into the hallway and into the bathroom, and there is someone actually on the toilet.
Yeah,
can you imagine that?
Let's
can barely
start with
see
the fact that let me just leave the door open while there is someone in my house, A.
Yeah.
And then B, how does that get missed?
But that's married life. It just goes kind of unattended to. It just happens.
And we take pictures of it. Perfect. And they go on the internet.
And how about this?
And they market your house.
And there's one of a vacant, of an empty like dining room with the drapes and everything. It's totally empty, nothing in it, except for the 2 feet you see at the bottom of the drapes. There's someone behind the drapes.
Hiding behind the drapes. Because it was hide and seek. That was what
I'm a huge
did.
Fan.
Maybe.
I know.
Maybe.
That's because you have twins. I have young kids.
So anyway, that's all I'm saying is that if you want to go on and check out some of these really humorous pictures.
And my favorite one is the one that has a kitchen and there's a toilet in the kitchen.
Well, hey, sometimes
that is the theme of the morning.
When you gotta go, right? You know, you can't waste too much time.
Some casseroles just don't last long.
Well, thank you for that, Ben.
You're welcome. Anytime. Glad to be here.
It's time now to welcome our guests this morning. We've got Eric Johnson from Rainier Title, and we're going to talk about tax valuation and what happens if you feel you are being overtaxed with regards to your property taxes. And then we're going to talk about what you can do as a property owner. Good morning, and thanks so much for joining us, Eric.
Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Vija and Ben. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, I love your voice. You got such a good radio voice.
He does.
Oh, yeah, that's my job.
We've been complimenting Eric all morning. It is beautiful timbre.
I like that
You have
voice.
a nice timbre to your voice.
Well, thank you for joining us here today,
Timber.
Eric. First off, thanks again. So let's talk about, when a property actually gets valued initially in the eyes of the county. How does that happen? I mean, we get these little postcards in the mail every year that say our values changed up and down. But where do they get that original value from? Is it from just a house that's sold maybe 3 years ago and that's their value now, and then it just alters every year? Or how does that work?
Well, a little more to it than that.
Okay.
It goes way back in history to when there's first a vacant piece of land.
Mm-hmm.
That land has a value associated with it. The county assigned way back, whenever. And then they've added to it over time. Then we add the improvements on top of that. The improvements could be anything from the house, the garage, sheds, you name it. That's when they then establish a new value based on other homes in the neighborhood. And so they compare them with the other homes in the neighborhood based on quality, size of the lot, all of that. And then they subtract off that original land value, and then they come up with a new baseline for the improvements. And so you'll notice on your tax statement that there's always two pieces to it. It's land and improvements.
That's right, yeah. And so let's say, someone bought their home 30 years ago. Is there a regular interval by which they are doing these adjustments, or is it sporadic?
In theory, it's every year that they're analyzing that, and they're looking at the other homes on the market, what has sold in the neighborhood.
So it's a computer algorithm, essentially?
Basically, it's an algorithm. Yeah, it's not humans touching it for the most part. It's not somebody looking at it going, oh, it should be this. They run it. They run the algorithm, and only when there's a dispute, really.
What about someone who's maybe gone in and done a major remodel at some point in time and put $100,000 into it? Does that automatically translate that their property is now valued $100,000 more, and they're going to be taxed on that?
Not necessarily. Again, they'll compare the improvements that are done with other homes in the area, and run it backwards from there. What's more interesting is when they don't catch the improvements that are done. That can create a whole different scenario. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What about common reasons that properties become overvalued or even undervalued? Is there things that people do or don't do that causes these anomalies to be reported on a government postcard that we get sent in the mail? Is there anything that's common?
The most common is recently, the most common things we faced were when we went through the market crash recently, the county was about a year behind on because they do it on their annual thing, so they get caught up.
So they use historical data, so they almost have to wait a year.
Yeah, exactly. And so what happened is say the crash happened in 2007. In 2008, they were still recording the higher values that were taking place in 2007.
That probably irked a lot of people.
And it did irk a lot of people. And some people caught it. Some people just kept rolling with it. And the interesting thing is then when the market hit bottom, again, the county was behind on all of that, too, so it was a long time before people's values were catching up.
And so, Eric, does sales price become a factor? Does it reset the algorithm at all?
It does, yeah. The county does record.
I always wondered that.
Yeah, they do. They do analyze the sales of homes in the area.
And yet it doesn't affect the individual house. Your house doesn't reset to the sales price, though, when it was sold?
Not necessarily. There's usually some variation there.
Interesting.
So I guess we need to ask, if a buyer or a homeowner, I should say, has an issue, has a dispute, what do they do? Who's the first person they should contact, and what's the process of that?
Well, the first person they should probably contact would be their favorite real estate agent.
Oh.
It could be Vija and Ben.
That would be me.
Right. No, seriously, they probably need to find out what is a realistic value for their home, and they need somebody who is capable of coming up with the
I've done that before,
homes.
Actually.
Yeah.
Is it just or what about an appraiser? Just having an independent appraiser?
Well, that's money. They usually call me. And then what's the next step after that?
Then the next step after that is once you've actually established that your home, that the taxes are really based on a value that is too high. If it's too low, don't say anything.
No. I'm glad we're on the same page there.
That's right. But if they're too high, at that point, then there's some steps you can go through. And the first thing is to actually talk to an appraiser at the county assessor's office.
Okay. So they do have appraisers there.
They do, yeah. And so you can speak to somebody about it. They're not going to have the authority to change your taxes right there on the spot. Okay. You're going to have to file a petition. Is the next step that's going to take place.
So no instant gratification. You got to go to the filing the petition.
Yeah. Nobody has the authority to say you're right. We'll knock it down $100,000. No.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
So I'm assuming a petition is just paperwork.
It is. Yeah, basically. It's a form, and you have to file it. Interestingly, it has to be within 60 days of the mail date of the front of your tax statement.
Oh, okay. 60 days.
60 days. Yeah. Okay. So you have to get it, see it. It's like, wait, that's way too high. Let's get to the
right.
Get to the office and file this paperwork.
Right.
Okay. And then what?
Then you're going to have to establish documentation proving that you're correct on your assessment of the valuation. So that would be where the comparables, actually a full CMA from your favorite agent would be the right thing to have. And then you're going to need to take a look at what conditions maybe the assessor looked at previously. It could be there's a lot of things different about your house than what they actually based it on. The condition of your home may be less high of a quality than other homes in the neighborhood have gone up in price. Could be you've never done a remodel in that 20 to 30 years, and the other homes all around you have done remodels complete, and so their value went up. The other thing is to look at, make sure that they've measured certain things correctly. Are you now on an arterial street where maybe there wasn't one when they did the original assessments, things like that, because traffic patterns can
That's a really good point. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of different conditions to look at. It could be anything from, the trees that you once had an astounding view, you no longer have a view because the trees grew and nobody ever addressed that. That can actually reduce your value.
So some functional obsolescence and some environmental changes and metamorphoses.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's just a process of waiting.
Pretty much.
You just wait. You wait for the government to get to their deal, and
you're gonna file an appeal, and then it can happen however long it takes them to do it.
So there's not a real set time on this. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 3 months, it could be longer.
It could, it could take some time.
That can be kind of a frustrating thing for, I guess, imagine if you want to get a quick answer and you can't get that.
Well, what I want to know is, while you're appealing, let's say it starts taking a long time. Do you pay your taxes?
Yes, you still have to pay taxes.
So if come October or come April, depending on when it hits, you still pay them.
My recommendation would be, the safe thing to do would be to pay your taxes. You don't want to be hit with a lien and have that show up somewhere and have it sticking to your property maybe when you come around to sale time or something like that.
Yeah, well, really helpful. So, Eric, if there's anything you'd like to leave the listeners with regards to their property tax assessments, if they think it's too high, what would it be?
Contact your real estate agent.
It's almost like I paid them for that.
I know. I like that. Here, we'll take care of you after the show.
We planted that seed, which we did not. But that was a very good answer.
That's what I would tell anybody who asks. That's what I tell them to do, honestly.
Great.
Well, that sounds great. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate that. It's good information, and we'll definitely put Eric's information up on our website as well. Book blogtalkradio.com ViaVija. And Facebook/radio ViaVija. So thank you again, Eric, for taking the time here to be with us today.
Thanks again for having me on.
Okay, we're going to take a short break right now. Coming up next are the interest rates on the move. Find out as we get up-to-the-minute mortgage news with Cody Touche of Caliber Home Loans as he gives you his mortgage minute. Stay tuned. This is Real Estate Radio ViaVija.
Plans to sell your home? Have you been thinking you might sell this year? Well, the best time to call a real estate agent is the moment you start thinking about it. And the best real estate agent to call is Vija Williams of the Vija team at Keller Williams Realty. Vija specializes in consulting homeowners on pre-listing prep, staging, marketing, and maximizing the market. Vija gets the highest price possible for her listings using an extensive inventory of staging accessories and furniture, professional photography, videography, and excellent negotiations. Call Vija today to find out how to take advantage of this seller's market. This just might be the perfect time to sell your home. Call Vija to find out more. Vija Williams of Keller Williams Real Estate, 425-998-VIJA. That's 425-998-VIA. 425-998-8452. Or visit us on the web at VijaWilliams.com. That's VIJA Williams.com.
Having trouble picking up the Alternative Talk 1150 signal? Well, whether you live in Portugal or Puyallup, Tasmania or Tacoma, India or Issaquah, you can get Alternative Talk 1150 programming streamed live on your computer via our website, 1150kknw.com. It's true. Just visit 1150kknw.com and click on the Listen Live button. Make sure you have an audio player installed that will play streaming MP3 audio such as Winamp, iTunes, or current versions of Real Player or Windows Player. Visit our website for more details. Remember, that's 1150kknw.com.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Do you have plans to buy a home? Are you thinking about possibly buying a home this year? The best time to call a real estate agent is the moment you start thinking about it. And Vija and her team are the best real estate agents to call. Interest rates are going to rise this year, so talk to us now about what that means for your purchasing power. We begin with a buyer consultation to understand your needs and wants. Then we search homes for you, research, preview, and most importantly, we negotiate and help you win in multiple offers. Start your home search today at ViaCentral.com. Or call us at the Vija team to find out more. And remember to call us now before interest rates go up. The Vija team, Vija at Keller Williams, 425-998-8452. That's 425-998-VIJA. 425-998-VIA. 425-998-8452. And start your home search at ViaCentral.com. That's VIJA Central.com. ViaCentral.com.
Body, mind, and spirit. Alternative Talk 1150 covers it all.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio ViaVija, your weekly radio show with the buzz on what's happening in the real estate industry in the Puget Sound and in the nation. I'm your host, Vija Williams.
And I'm Ben Williams. Remember, you can join us every Monday from 9 to 9:30 here and online at blogtalkradio.com/ViaVija.
And it's time to bring in Cody Touche from Caliber Home Loans. Cody is a sponsor of Real Estate Radio ViaVija, and he is going to give us the up-to-date mortgage news, which he does every week in 1 minute. That's right, it's Cody's Mortgage Minute. Yay! And we are forcing him to tell us everything important and relevant in the entire mortgage industry in 60 seconds or less. Good morning, Cody.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Excellent. How about you?
I'm awesome. We're just excited. We've been talking taxes all day.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
And that leads into you, my friend.
So are you ready to go?
High energy in the room.
Absolutely.
All right. Are you marked, get set, and go.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Cody Touche, owner of the Touche team at Caliber Home Loans. And today I want to talk about paying off your mortgage. People always ask me if they should pay off their mortgage early with either a biweekly plan or just sending extra principal payments with their payment every month. And I will always ask them to read an article that I've posted on our Facebook page at thetoucheteam.com. It's by Rick Edelman, and he gives you a top 10 list of reasons why not to pay off your mortgage early. So I'm going to run through that real quick with you guys. Number 10, Dave Letterman style. Here we go. Number 10, you'll never fully get rid of your house payment. You're always an insurance, even if you get rid of principal and interest. Number 9, mortgages give you great liquidity and flexibility. Mortgage will allow you to create wealth more and faster than you otherwise could. Mortgages will allow you to invest more than you otherwise could and quickly. Mortgages will allow you to harvest the equity without having to sell your house. Mortgage payments get easier over time. And your mortgage interest is tax deductible. Your mortgage will not stop you from building equity. Your home's value does not end a mortgage or not. And number 1, mortgage money is cheap. So I wanted to get into that real quick today. We are just a quick hit on rates. 30-year fixed rates are in the mid to mid 3s, 3.5 to 3.75, depending on who you are.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are also seeing rates in the low 3s for a 15-year fixed. Now, we all know that the Fed met last week, and who knows how long that will hang on. I'd say right now is a great time to lock. I'm Cody Touche with the Touche team. You can reach us at 425-492-1698 or find us on the web at thetoucheteam.com, and that's your Mortgage Minute.
Great. Thank you.
That was our mortgage
Cody.
5 minutes. Yay,
Lots of info. All right. That was packed of info, Cody. Thank you so much. That was awesome. All right. Well, for us, we want to thank our guest, Eric Johnson, for knowing where to turn to dispute our property tax assessments.
That's right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. And remember, you can hear this show over and over again on blogtalkradio.com/ViaVija. And we're here every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific time.
expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. This is Alternative Talk 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KLCK FM 98.9 Digital HD3 Seattle.
You are about to hear the best of Radio 8 Ball on Alternative Talk 1150 AM. This episode was recorded on March 14th, 2008, with our musical guest, Veda Hilly. Regardless of when this episode was recorded, you are hearing it now, or are about to, and you would do yourself